Hello children, I am SL Padmini from SGS School. Once again I am here to explain you the second part of the poem Television as God, which is the second chapter of your main course book. This is a poem written by Tijan M. Salah. In the first part, I have explained you how the poet says that television in America has become a special God. He says this because as the people are fully attracted and devoted towards the television and they are no longer concentrating on their people around them and also their own duties. In the second stanza, the poet says, "And the daisies by my apartment window, tall, yellow as the fingers of the sun, why are they so sad from neglect?" So here the poet is questioning us that why the daisies. We all know how daisies are, how beautiful these flowers seem. They are one of the most beautiful flowers which we have in the nature. We cannot move our eyes out of them. They are so beautiful. But now these daisies which are there in the poet's apartment, they have become very dull. The tall yellow flower, which seems as if its petals seem as if like the rays of the sun, now they have become sad. Here, sad means it has become dull and dry. Why they have become so dull? Because these beautiful flowers are no longer taken care of by the people, because they are having their own navigation, that is television. Now they are no longer beautiful because the people are so much engaged in the television that they don't take care of the greenery around them. They don't even pour water to the plants. So in the fourth line of the second stanza, the poet says, "They perhaps lost the competition." You know, these natural things, these beautiful flowers, they have their own competition. It means if we look at the flowers, we cannot move our eyes. We are so attracted towards these flowers. But now they have lost the competition because the people are fully attracted towards the television. So who is the competitor of the daisies? Or we can say the nature, the television. Whatever people want to see, they are searching and getting it in the television. So they are giving more preference to the artificial entertainment. Now see the fifth line of the second stanza. Television has trapped everyone in its shrine. What is the meaning of shrine? A place of worship. So, as in the first paragraph, the poet says that television has become a god. So now it has trapped. Trapped means to catch. It has caught everybody in its own kingdom. Now come to the third and last paragraph of the poem. See the first line. And the mothers wonder why their kids are doing poorly in school and their grammar is as good as chimpanzees. So now the mothers think why the children are not able to read well and why are they becoming so poor in their studies, and also their grammar has become so weak. It means they are unable to speak properly. So why are they unable to speak in an improper manner? See here, the poet has taken the name of chimpanzees. Do you know what sound chimpanzees make? It is known as hoo. H-O-O, who. The sound that chimpanzees make, they make the similar sound in different manner. In the same way, the children are so much attracted that they are speaking the language of television. They are no longer concentrating on the grammar which is taught in the school. So whatever the people in the television are speaking, they are speaking the same thing. That's why the mothers are wondering why their children's language has changed in such a bad manner. See the fourth line. And of course, television is a special god, and the gods have their sacred abode. Here, what is the meaning of sacred abode? Sacred means a place which means something which is related to God. Abode means a place where somebody lives. So sacred abode means a religious place which is related to God where somebody lives. So here, yes, now as well as we all know, television is our real God or a special God. That God who have their own sacred place, which means something which is related to God. Sacred abode means a religious place where somebody lives. So here the poet wants to tell the television has its own place where it lives. So see the next line. In the hearts of their humble servants. So where does the TV live? The television lives in the hearts of their humble servants. So who are the humble servants here? The humble servants are the viewers who are watching the television. See the next line. And television is a God that speaks and smiles and acts, and emotions are fortified as starch to ironed clothes. And this television is such a God that smiles and acts, and the emotions are fortified. Fortified means they are made stronger. As we can say that if we watch a patriotic movie, the love for our country rises. And if we watch a devotional movie, the belief in God rises. In the same manner, the TV makes the emotions of the viewers fortified. It means it makes the emotions of the viewers stronger. As starch to ironed clothes, as the starch makes the clothes harder, in the same manner, the television strengthens our emotions. See the last line. And the truth of the world is accessed through the superficial words of the interpreters. And the truth of the world is accessed. Accessed means reaches. How the truth or the real world reaches us? It reaches us through the superficial words. It means through the words which are not real or which are conveyed to us in a very less serious ways through the interpreters. Who are the interpreters? Interpreter means the people who explain us all those things. It means how world is shown to us, we see it in the same manner. For example, if the hero becomes a pilot, we imagine that maybe a pilot seems like that, but it's not in the real world. A pilot may have a different attitude. It is in the same case when we see a villager, a soldier, a prince, a king, anybody. If we see them on the television, we imagine that maybe in the real world also these people will be of the same manner, but it is not like that. So here the poet wants to explain to us that television is not the real world. It shows us a picture of what actually is happening, but in real, it's not like that. So, children, this is the second chapter of your main course book. I hope you all have understood the poem. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in our school WhatsApp group. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. Stay home and stay safe.